Hi, my name is Jamal Miller. I'm a director of product marketing at Mailchimp, and thank you for joining me today. I'm looking forward to walking through some data proven strategies for how you can fuel your online sales with email. We're excited about our partnership with Barn2Door and looking forward to helping you juice sales through our email marketing integration. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by telling you a little bit more about myself. Like I said, I'm a director at Mailchimp. I've been there for about 2 years. Prior to that, I have experience from Amazon in the e-commerce world, as well as e-commerce experience and lifecycle marketing experience in previous roles across industries such as education, healthcare, and technology. My earliest marketing roles were actually in email marketing. So I'm especially passionate about the world of email marketing, helping people understand how to leverage email marketing to get the most out of their marketing programs, engage their customers, and drive sales. So hopefully you get something, at least one thing out of today's chat to that you can take and implement within your marketing programs. So a little bit about Mailchimp, if you're not familiar. Mailchimp is an all-in-one marketing platform that is built on the idea of helping small businesses and growing businesses access the best marketing technology in very simple, easy to use ways for entrepreneurs who are looking to grow their businesses. We help e-commerce businesses grow their sales, increase loyalty, and ideally, we're looking to help you save time. Our mission from the very start was to help small businesses and entrepreneurs. And we know entrepreneurs don't have a ton of time on their hands. They're taking care of marketing needs in addition to everything that goes into running a business. So the idea with a lot of the tools that you'll see today and generally that you'll see with the Mailchimp is that we're hoping to save you time, give you some expertise as a marketer, even if you're not one by trade, so that you can easily grow your business, grow sales, increase revenue. So the first topic that I'm going to dig into today is audience segmentation. This is the cornerstone of any good marketing campaign or any good marketing program. Understanding your audience, learning the best ways to segment them so that you can speak to the right customer and put the right message in front of them at the right time. To start off with, what is an audience? Well, in the context of Mailchimp, you can think of an audience as anyone who's ever interacted with your brand and given you permission to market to them. This can be anyone who's purchased from you previously, anyone who's signed up for an email newsletter or mailing list, even anyone that's visited your your website and in any way given you permission to follow up with them. These would be considered your audience. It's the overarching universe of anyone who's ever interacted with you. So then a segment within that audience is a subgroup that has a common interest or common traits that you would use for marketing purposes or to better understand how you can get the most out of your marketing efforts. For example, a segment can be based on a location, or a segment can be based on a common mode of interacting with you. Maybe they access your site via mobile or desktop. A segment can be based on how they engage with your content or how long they've been a customer of yours. There are literally countless ways that you can segment your audience. And a lot of the trick with marketing is finding the best way that's going to work for your business. I'll talk a little bit about a few ideas later, but hopefully we can find something that will help you start to better market based on segmentation. And once you do, you'll be able to really enhance your marketing and increase your engagement rates and hopefully drive more sales. So just again, why are we talking about audience segmentation? Well, we found from our Mailchimp data that on average, customers who send campaigns to a segmented group within their audience rather than their entire audience see 26% higher open rates than those who send their emails to an entire audience at one time. And additionally, those customers see 49% higher click-through rates than those who do not send segmented campaigns. So this can really be the difference between having a great month of sales or an email campaign that drives a significantly large revenue return on investment for you and one that doesn't perform as well. When you segment, you're really able to tailor your messaging, tailor your content, and tailor when you send, how you send, what channels you send through to really get the most out of each campaign. So some recommendations on how you can implement segmentation of your audience within your own Mailchimp account. First of all, we have segmentation features and extremely powerful ones that are available for you for free. So for example, if you're bringing in contact data that tags your customers by location based on where they are, if they're local to you or if they're in another location, you can, for free, in your Mailchimp account, create a segment for customers who are local versus customers that are national. And that allows you to create different messaging. Your local version might talk about, your presence at an upcoming farmers market. It might talk about opportunities for them to come to you to pick things up. It might feature special discounts for them since they're local versus the national version. But this is a feature segmentation that's available to you for free in our simple segmentation form. And location is one of these things that you can access for free. Another one is one-time purchasing versus subscriptions. I know a lot of folks are trying to create subscriptions and get people locked in on long-term engagements with your farm. If you're bringing in data from your store based on the purchase catalog that lets us know that someone has purchased a subscription from you versus someone has just made a one-time purchase, that data is available to you in your segmentation for free. You can set up a segment for anyone who's ever purchased a subscription from you and create that as a separate segment and use that to interact with them differently than you would everyone else, right? You may create special communications with your subscribers to ensure that they are excited, to ensure that they know about the latest and greatest that's available to them in the subscription, to upsell them to other tiers of subscription or additional products to add to their subscription. Versus one-time purchasers, you may talk to them about subscriptions and trying to get them on a subscription plan. But it's extremely easy to set these up, and they're available for you with our segmentation for free. Segmenting by engagement. Again, this is something that with a free Mailchimp version, you can create a segment within your audience of people who have opened or clicked or not opened or clicked an email from you within a certain amount of time. And this is a great way to identify your most excited, most engaged, most enthusiastic fans of your farm and use that to send them the best deals or sneak previews of new things that you want to release or test things that you want to try out with your best audience, so that you can really know what works and what doesn't work and keep your biggest fans happiest, and also re-engage the ones who maybe haven't been interacting with you as much. And lastly, purchase categories. So again, any information that you have within your store gets synced over to Mailchimp as long as we know, and including purchase history. So once we know that someone has purchased a certain category, you can identify them as a flower purchaser or as a produce purchaser or as a meat purchaser or whatever. And you can tag them. You can set up segments based on those tags, create special versions of your email that feature those categories. Since you know someone likes to buy flowers from you, you can create a version of your email that focuses on flowers, or you can create a version of your email that focuses on produce. Again, a lot of our segmentation features and the ability to do anything that I mentioned here today is available for you to get started with in our free accounts, which is another great thing about Mailchimp. Try to make our free version as full featured as possible for you to do great marketing. So please take advantage of any of these. If you're looking to do something a little bit more advanced, we also have A/B testing within our emails. So this is slightly different from segmentation, right? Segmentation, you're talking about kind of predefining these different subgroups within your broader audience. A/B testing is maybe you've already predefined the segment within your target audience that you want to send to, and you want to test two different versions of the email to that segment. Maybe you want to test two different subject lines to see which one gets better open rates, or you want to test two different discount offers that with your audience within a segment. We do offer A/B testing, and we offer tools to allow you to pretty easily analyze which version won out based on open rates, click-through rates, and store purchases. This capability is in our more advanced pricing plans, but for someone who has a growing business and maybe has gotten to the point with their marketing programs where they're really looking to tweak and optimize and get the best out of their programs, this may be a worthwhile feature for you to dig into. And again, it gets to really talk about how we are making smart technologies available for small businesses and entrepreneurs, which I'll talk a little bit more about later on. Next, I want to talk about Customer Journey Builder. Now, Customer Journey Builder is a fairly new feature that we've added that can really help you to predefine the way that you interact with your customers at key points within their life cycle with you. So defining what a customer journey is. A customer journey is essentially a pre-planned, predefined set of communications that you send to users based on a certain trigger action. So that trigger action could be they made their first purchase with you. That trigger action could be they purchased a certain product from you. That trigger action could be that they haven't interacted with you in a certain amount of time. Based on that trigger action, you can plan out a series of messages that are meant to help get them to that next important lifecycle event within your business. Let's say that you are a new customer, you have a new customer who's coming in. You want to make sure that they know everything about your business, all the great products that you offer, how often they can buy from you, the subscription service that you have available to them. You might want to predefine a journey that speaks to all of these things, gives them an opportunity to learn more about your brand, and hopefully build a long-term relationship with you. Customer journeys also are a great tool for automation. Going back to the theme of helping to take items off of your plate, enabling you to spend more time on the other parts of your business, the more that you can automate some of these standard customer journeys and communication flows, the more time that you can spend on these other areas of the business and know that in the background, you're generating revenue for your farm. So typically you start with identifying the trigger when you're building a customer journey. A standard one is a new customer coming in or a customer that hasn't interacted with you in a while. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But the first step is you want to understand what are the key moments where potentially you're seeing drop off in engagement with your customers, or what are the key moments where potentially you're getting a lot of questions from customers about what they should do next, or potentially they are becoming disengaged with their regular email communications. Identify those points in time, and maybe that's the point to set up an automation that includes a customer journey. So some specific recommendations and things that hopefully you can get started with right away. And welcome emails and a new user journey are kind of bread and butter for any small business that's looking to get started with customer journeys. Starting with a welcome that obviously introduces your brand, lets people know who you are, lets people know what you stand for, what they can expect from you, is a great way to kind of build a great relationship early on. But then you can start from that point and add on a couple of additional emails into that journey to make sure that people take key actions. For example, let's say that they've purchased from you, but they haven't set preferences for how often they want to interact with you. Maybe there's a second email in the journey that allows them to select how often they want to talk to you, how often they want to hear from you. Maybe you have a preference center that allows them to let folks know what types of products they want to hear about. They want to hear about flowers. They want to hear about poultry. And if your second email in the series potentially drives them to make sure that they update those preferences so that you have more information on them to be able to better engage with them in the future. Things like that will help you really, again, build a good early relationship with your customers that hopefully turns into a long-term engagement. The other thing that you might consider right away is a re-engagement journey. Let's say someone has not interacted with you in 3 months after they've made a purchase, or 5 months. Perhaps you put a trigger that looks for any customer who hasn't made a purchase from you in a certain amount of time, and you automatically send them a coupon code of their next purchase, and follow that up maybe with a story about your latest offering. Perhaps you've introduced a new SKU recently or a new product recently that you want to tell folks about. Anything that you can do to get these folks interacting with you again and catch them before it's too far gone, right? Ultimately, at a certain point in time, it's difficult to pull people back into the fold. So if you can set up these automated triggers to catch people before they go 6 months, a year without interacting with you, you'll cut down on your churn and increase the lifetime value of your customer interactions. Why automation? Again, this is all about increasing your engagement rates. We see that customers who set up automations on average see 93% higher open rates and 174% higher click-through rates. So this can be really the difference between having a program that scales and not. Just setting up these simple automations to get you started. And like I said, it can be as simple as starting with a welcome or starting with a re-engagement campaign. But any of these things that will create a steady drumbeat of communication with your audience are really going to help you increase your engagement rates and focus on other areas of your marketing program. Next, I want to talk a little bit about featured products, which is exciting. It's kind of the core of the integration that we have with the organization. And we are excited about being able to bring this to you all and hopefully increase your sales by being able to feature your products more prominently in emails. So essentially what featured products allows you to do is to connect your store directly into Mailchimp and leverage that information on all of your product SKUs and your entire product catalog within the body of emails. So you have full access to your catalog, your inventory, and can feature specific products or sets of products within the body of your emails. This cuts down the time to conversion. People can click directly into a purchase flow and add to cart. It's an easy drag and drop interface for you to build these emails. And we're hopeful that this gives a lot of flexibility for you to feature the products that are most important to you based on where you are in your business. So some ways in which you can use our product integration feature. Feature a seasonal product. If you have a new flower that's blooming this time of year, your seasonals are up. If you have a fall favorites that you want to sell during the autumn season, this is the perfect opportunity to easily and quickly add those SKUs directly into your emails without having to do a lot of design work or connecting or uploading other information into Mailchimp. Again, once you sync your store to Mailchimp, all this data syncs automatically and is available to you directly in your email account as you start to set up emails within Mailchimp. Another idea is featuring a subscription. As long as that subscription is listed as a SKU within your product catalog, that can also be featured easily within the body of an email to quickly get people into a purchase flow for your subscription. Obviously, you want to lock people in with a subscription where you can. So this is a great way to feature that product or products if you have multiple subscriptions available. Next, I want to talk a little bit about smart marketing recommendations. So as I mentioned before, Mailchimp's mission is to empower small business owners and entrepreneurs to do more with marketing in the little bit of time that they have. And with that in mind, we've created a suite of tools that really help to take the guesswork out of marketing for you and allow you to leverage the billions of data points that Mailchimp has at our disposal to leverage AI and really understand what's the thing that you should do next and how can you really increase engagement with your customers. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of those options that we have available. So first of all, what is a smart marketing recommendation? Essentially, that's our way of letting you know that we're using our data science power to enable you to do better marketing. It could be a small thing or something that seems small, but it's amazing how much data and how much intelligence goes into some of these things that I'll mention. But the great part about it is that for you, it's extremely simple. That's what we do as a company. We try to make things that maybe larger marketing platforms or enterprise platforms make a little bit more difficult and make it extremely easy for you to implement without even having to think much about it. So these are intelligence-based tools that are meant to help you grow sales and ultimately help take work off your plate and gain confidence in your marketing. You may not be a marketer by trade, as I mentioned before, but you should be able to confidently put marketing campaigns out there in the world and know that they're going to work because they're backed by best practices from years and years of data that we've been able to gather. So some examples of that you should try right away if you can. So these are some of my personal favorites. Personalized product recommendations and emails. So once you've connected your store to Mailchimp, you have the ability to add a block into your Mailchimp emails that brings in personalized recommendations based on that specific customer's previous purchase history. So it's a way for you to serve up personalized content backed by all of our data science tools without having to bring on a data scientist to let you know how to build this yourselves. And it's as easy as drag and drop into the body of your email and selecting that you want to include personalized recommendations. This same feature also has the ability to drop in bestsellers if you'd rather feature bestsellers from your store rather than personalized recommendations or the newest products that you've added to your store. But the beauty of personalized recommendations is it really makes each email feel like it's sent one-to-one directly to that user and increases sales tremendously. So really excited about that. And that's something that you should really dig into as you have the chance to. The other is subject line helper. So we have a tool that will, as you're building your email and as you're creating your subject line, give you tips and tricks based on all of the subject lines that we've analyzed over the years of what best practices, how long should your subject line be, how much punctuation should you include, should you include emojis, All of these things that we've learned over the years that will dynamically populate as you start to build out your subject lines in your email to help you increase your open rates. So that's available out of the box for anyone who's building emails in Mailchimp, and something that, again, takes the guesswork out of how you should be going about your marketing and giving you confidence in how to launch campaigns. The last smart marketing recommendation feature that I'd like to share is purchase likelihood. So again, we've done all the hard data science work for you. We have analyzed all of the customers within your store once you've connected it to Mailchimp. We've analyzed their purchase history, and we're able to dynamically tell you which customers are the most likely to make a purchase again from you soon. And you can use that data to create specialized segments. Let's say you're launching a new product and you want to give a sneak peek to your best customers. It's a click of a button, you can create a segment and send that message to that group of people. So extremely, again, powerful tools that if you were building yourself, it would take a team of data scientists to build for you, but instead you get this right out of the box by connecting your store with Mailchimp. Next, I want to talk a little bit about a concept that we call behavioral targeting. So behavioral targeting is the idea of interacting with customers and targeting them based on things that they're doing with you, how they're interacting with you. Those behaviors and those interactions can take on multiple different forms. It could be engagement with your marketing. It could be clicks on your website. It could be ways that they're interacting within your store. There's a whole suite of ways that people can interact with you. And each one of these actions is an opportunity to gather data and to react with a message to those customers based on what they've basically raised their hand and asked for. This is a way to fine tune your audience segments by really digging into what people are doing and kind of inferring what they're trying to accomplish through these actions that you're able to collect and build segments based off of. And you can much more easily interpret your buyer's needs based on these interactions. They're essentially, by clicking around on your website, clicking around in your store, clicking on your emails, they're essentially giving you cues as to what they want. And if you're able to take those cues and turn those into great marketing, again, you increase your chances of growing your audience, growing your sales, growing revenue over time. So some examples of that we have now for you. Creating audience tags for subscription orders. So if someone is a subscriber with you, in Mailchimp, we have a concept called tags, where you can tag a set of customers or individual customers with essentially any label that you'd like. And these labels allow you to create segments, set up automations, and do a myriad of things that are specific to people in your customer base who have that tag associated with their account. And the subscription order is a perfect use of that, right? If you know someone is a subscriber with you, you can tag them so that every time you want to interact with your subscribers, you have an easy way to build a segment. Every time you want to communicate with them about something new that's available with their subscription or upsell them to a new tier, you have a way to quickly communicate with them. You also have a way of understanding your recurring purchasers and the people who represent the highest lifetime value for your business very quickly and easily. Tags can also be used for other things, certain interest areas. You can tag people who purchase certain things from you typically. So a very flexible tool and a great way to label people based on their behaviors and use that in your audience segmentation and targeting. The last thing I'll touch on here is the ability to resend to non-openers. So, email boxes are cluttered. People are getting a lot of messages, especially depending on the time of year. If it's a busy holiday season or a busy sales season with a lot of promotions going on, people are busy. People have a lot going on. They may not have seen your email. But with Mailchimp, you have the ability to, with one click of a button, resend your email to people who maybe didn't open it the first time. And we see this as a great way to kind of pull back into the fold people who may have missed your message and increase the likelihood that that singular campaign can drive quite a bit of revenue for you. So that's another easy one to implement within your campaigns. So measurement of email marketing success. So you're only as good as what you can measure in marketing. Luckily, there are lots of tools that enable you to understand how your marketing is doing, what you can improve upon, and where you have opportunities to optimize. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. First of all, what is a successful email marketing campaign? That's a great question. Ultimately, the goal of any e-commerce marketing campaign is to drive revenue, to drive sales. So that's the ultimate goal. But there are obviously some steps that it takes to get there, right? It's a funnel of sorts. First, they need to receive the email. Then they need to open the email. Then they need to click the email. From there, they need to get into your purchase flow, go through the checkout process and buy. So there are a lot of these mini steps. But what we can do through a lot of the tools is kind of help you understand those steps, how you compare to other people within your industry, and what are some ways that you can optimize each one of those steps in that purchase funnel. So let's talk a little bit about the ways that you can potentially do that. So we're going to learn more to earn more. First, compare your email open and click rates to industry benchmarks. So within Mailchimp, you have the ability to select your industry. For every campaign that you send, we'll show you how your email open rates and click-through rates compare to your industry overall. This is a great tool to directionally let you know, especially if you're early on in building your marketing program and you don't have a lot of data to go off of to know whether you're doing well or not. This is a great way to kind of set a baseline for about where you should be shooting for. Obviously, once you collect a lot more data, you send a lot more emails, you understand your own average, and you can kind of optimize from there. But when you're getting started, kind of having a good industry benchmark is a great place to start. And we make that available for you out of the box. And then you magnify those outcomes based on your sales. So by connecting your store with Mailchimp, you'll directly be able to see sales that were generated that originated from your email campaigns. And you can optimize your emails to see which email campaigns are driving sales, which ones are not performing as well, and optimize accordingly. You can do some A/B testing if you want. You can try out some different versions of your emails. Again, going back to segmentation and targeting, you may see that certain segments and emails to certain segments are performing very well, and a similar email to another segment, maybe not so much. So that gives you some data to go off of to go back and optimize those campaigns. But ultimately, it all goes back to gathering the data to be able to make these kind of decisions. And we try to make it as easy as possible for you to see the information, understand that purchase funnel and how email plays a role into it, and then to make some smart decisions based on that data. So we're excited to have this partnership with Barn2Door. Again, we're looking forward to helping you grow your businesses, grow sales. We're extremely happy that Barn2Door has invited us here to chat with you all. We love talking about email marketing. We love helping entrepreneurs grow their businesses, and we're wishing you all the best. So before I get out of here, just to recap some of the high notes from the today's chat. Audience segmentation. Again, you want to get to a point where, to the extent that you're able, you're segmenting your email sends so that you're not sending the same thing to everyone, to increase your email open rates and click-through rates. And you'll thank me later for that. Two, customer journey builder. Think about what are those key points in the customer lifecycle where you can increase engagement and help to kind of build relationships, or kind of stop leakage from your customer pool before it even starts. So again, think about your welcome email and a new customer series. Think about a re-engagement series for people who haven't interacted with you for some period of time. Get those automated, running in the background so you don't have to think about them, and it's continually helping to feed your customer lifetime value. Featured products. Excited about the way that this integration is going to enable you to feature your products in email. Again, go into your Mailchimp account. Once you've synced it with your Barn2Door store, all of your inventory, all of your product catalog will be available for you to drop products directly into the body of emails and quickly start people down the purchase funnel, clicking directly from an email. Smart recommendations. Again, these are ways that we're trying to make it easier for you to make smart marketing decisions without having to be an expert marketer yourself. Several ideas in here. And lastly, measurement. Make sure that you explore our reporting and analytics features to understand how your campaigns are performing against benchmarks from similar companies like yourselves, and giving you the starting point to really understand which campaigns are driving revenue. So again, I'm Jamal Miller. Thank you for having me today. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. If you're interested in more information, visit Mailchimp.com, and we have tons of customer stories, case studies, resources, tips that will help you implement a lot of the things that I've talked about today. So thank you, best of luck, and have a great day.